It's one of the reasons I like to come out.
I needed to clear my head. So I spent this warm winter evening with eagles, hawks, and gulls at the lake.
So we're doing an old style video today. I'm just out at Elk City Lake Park. This is a place called Sunset Point. It's one of the RV campsites. They have all kinds of hookups back in there, and then some of these up closer, these are just for tent sites. I have camped out here once before, and today I'm just coming out because it's just a pretty day. It's about high 50s, and just want to see what might be able to capture out here as we look around the park. Sort of a quiet day, and the clouds are starting to move in. But man, it's pretty. Look at the sky. Isn't that gorgeous? It's one of the reasons I like to come out here, and just to come out and set up and see what I can find. There's a gull. Let me see if I can get a picture of it real quick.
Perhaps this guy was a scout, because just a few seconds later, it seemed like the sky was just filled with gulls and they were playing in the water. Enjoyed watching them. Got a few shots. Always surprises me that we have so many seagulls in the middle of the country out here in Kansas.
Set you over here so we can have a little conversation while I look. Oh, sit on this bench. I do like it out here because while it's not a major hike, there's all kinds of things out here. This is where just a couple of days ago I saw that young eagle, and he was out there, right just out there on the lake. This was all frozen then, it's thawed out now. And he was sitting there, and it was funny because right beside him flew in a crow, and the crow started squawking at the eagle until the eagle jumped over toward the crow, and then the crow took off. He didn't want to have any part of that eagle. But I wonder, maybe today we'll get to see some other things. Oh wow. Now there is a hawk. It's a big hawk. Let me get him. So much wildlife out here. I've seen cougar tracks out on the lake on the backside when the lake was down last year. And then I see deer out here all the time, tons of deer. We don't have bears in this area, but if we did, I bet they'd be out here. Oh, speaking of eagles, here's a bald eagle. He just came out of that tree. Oh man.
The eagle quickly came out of the tree, and I barely caught a short video, switched over to the photo mode, and took a series of photos. At first, I thought he was going to fly away from me. He did fly all the way across the lake, and then he circled back. And this was my favorite picture.
Yeah, I do like it out here. The wind's blowing. I don't know if that's messing with the sound or not. I'm sorry if it is. I think what I might do, I might put on my other lens and just see if I can do something with that sky over there. It is so gorgeous. So let's go here and see if we can get a picture of the sky. All right, so what I've done is I took my gimbal head off. This is a Sarui gimbal. I really am liking this one. It's so much more robust. It's a carbon fiber construction, but really tight gears to lock it in place, and very well made. Sort of a lower profile than the other gimbal from Kent Faith that I used. But I have to admit, Kent Faith, they did me well. They sent me a replacement gimbal. I'm still sort of leery of it, to be honest. That one lock on the bottom, it seems like it's just undersized for what it's asked to do. I've used some Sarui products for several things. This ball head mount is a Sarui, as you can see, and it's very nice. It's on this little Sarui travel tripod. Now I'm going to see. I put my 27mm lens on the camera. I'm going to set up a shot with this. Let me think what I'm going to do. So I'm going to turn this around like this. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Very pretty. I'm going to lower the shutter speed down, but I'm also going to drop the ISO to ISO 100. Yeah, it's pretty bright. It is pretty bright. I'm going to bring, yeah, about 1/160. What's that do for me? That's pretty nice. I had this lined up over the lake. It's just, I've got it's f/16, so I got a very, very deep depth of field, and should have everything in focus. I've got it's set to f/100, 1/160th of a second, f/16, ISO 100. Let's take this picture. What's that look like? Huh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a time lapse and see if I get these clouds to moving. So let me share with you what I'm going to do. I'm at 1/160th of a second, ISO 100, f/16. I came over here because if you look, you got some little brush over here and brush down there. Didn't want to get the brush in the frame. I want to really try to get so that it's just the lake and the sky, and then I'm going to do a time lapse. See if I can't get some of the cloud movement out here. Looking forward, maybe next week, planning to go out to Wilson Lake. There's supposed to be a barred owl out there. So I'm gonna go, once again, I'm gonna go out and see if I can find this owl. And then this is the 1st of April. I'm sorry. This is the 1st of February. So next month in March, and I'll start my Milky Way trek. And I think I've told you about that, but I'm planning on 4 sites out in western Kansas, 4 historic sites, and I want to use them as the foreground for the Milky Way early in the season and see if I can get that band of Milky Way coming over them. And then I'm going to move to central Kansas. And there in central Kansas, I have 6 areas that I want to take pictures of. And again, with these historic sites being in the foreground and then the Milky Way over the top of them. And then my final 2 sites, I'll come on out to southeastern Kansas and go to a place called Old Fort Baxter. It's in Baxter Springs down in southeast Kansas, and then over to an old shovel. It was the second largest shovel in the world, electric shovel. And this thing is massive. It's called Big Brutus, and I want to get the Milky Way coming over the top of Big Brutus. I think that'll be fascinating to see. And I want to tell the stories of these sites. So there's 12 locations, and each with amazing history. And the history goes from really before this place was populated to the earliest peoples who lived here to the industrial age. That's my goal as we go through this. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay on the path. God bless you.